Putrajaya is to spend 270 billion in the final 3 years under the 12th Malaysia Plan as the government aligns the 5-year plan with the Madani economy vision targeted to empower and stimulate the economy. When tabling the 12 MPs midterm review in the Dewan Rakyat, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the government is committed to spending at least 90 billion in the development expenditure annually from 2023 to 2025. Anwar explains that the government will spend the entire 400 billion allocation under the 12 MP and even increase the ceiling by 15 billion to give a total of 415 billion ringgit. He says that this increase is to fund the needs of the Rakyat's priority groups in addition to improving the quality of management and retargeting subsidies to meet the basic needs of the Rakyat. For context, Anwar said development expenditure only stood at 64.3 billion in 2021 and 71.6 billion in 2022. He said this was only 34% of total development expenditure allocated under the 5-year plan, 135.9 billion out of 400 billion ringgit. The Dewan Rakyat is currently in session for a 6-day special sitting focusing on the tabling of the 12 MP MTR. Anwar said that 31% of the 175 targets set out in the 5-year plan had been achieved and another 59% is progressing as scheduled. Economy Minister Muhammad Rafizi Ramli clarified that the higher spending ceiling of the 12 MP will not come from more loans but rather from expected better national growth in 2024 to 2025 and domestic savings. He said the government will implement cost savings by adopting better governance. Meanwhile, a total of 11 new transport and logistics projects have been introduced to ensure the development of a sustainable and resilient national infrastructure, said Anwar. The projects in question are the construction of Pan Borneo Highway Sabas Phase 1B, the Penang LRT, the expansion of the Penang International Airport, the redevelopment of the Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport in Subang, and the upgrade of the East-West Highway from Gerit Perak to Jeli Kelantan. Anwar also announced that government projects, including those under the previous Malaysia Plan, which could not be implemented within a reasonable period after their approval, will be cancelled so as to make way for more pressing people-oriented projects. Ramsay Healthcare and Sime Darby have shortlisted candidates for the sale of their hospital unit, which could fetch about $1.5 billion according to people with knowledge of the matter. Bloomberg reported that TPG Inc.-backed hospital group Columbia Asia and Sunway Medical Centre, a unit of Sunway, were picked to proceed to the next round of bidding. Macquarie Asset Management and PT Mitra Keluarga Karya Sehat are also among the shortlisted suitors, the people said, asking not to be identified as the process is private. The sellers invited some healthcare companies and private equity firms to submit non-binding bids by end August. The revival of the deal comes after discussions with IHH Healthcare collapsed last year. Binding bids for Ramsay-Sime Darby Healthcare are due in October, the people said, adding that deliberations are ongoing and there is no guarantee the deal will proceed. The healthcare JV owns 4 hospitals in Malaysia and 3 hospitals in Indonesia and provides inpatient and outpatient services from primary care to surgery, as well as mental health care and rehabilitation. Manufacturers experienced an increase in costs of doing business in the first half, arising from both domestic and external factors, according to the latest Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers Business Conditions Survey. The biannual survey showed that most of the costs incurred by the respondents had increased by up to 20% in the first half, with labour, maintenance of machinery, raw materials and energy comprising the top cost increases. FMM President Tan Sri Sotian Lai said the cost of doing business was trending up in the first half, induced by global supply chain disruption, the implementation of the minimum wage, removal of utility subsidies by the government, and higher import costs due to the weak ringgit versus the US dollar. So called for the government and Bank Negara to come up with a solution to strengthen the ringgit against the greenback. He also called on B&M to retain the current overnight policy rate, saying that if the OPR should increase by a further 25 BPS by end 2023, 71% of the respondents respondents will face impacts on revenue, while 80% of respondents see this impacting profit. Meanwhile, the FMM survey also showed that manufacturing activities are expected to remain slow for the second half. According to the FMM, the latest expected indices for business activity, local sales, production volume, capacity utilization, capital investment and employment have also dipped to two-year lows, a further reflection of the manufacturing sector's tempered expectations going forward. UEM Sunrise's unit, Mega Legacy Malaysia, is disposing of 4.01 acres of land in Kiara Bay, Kuala Lumpur for 85 million ringgit to a subsidiary of Melati Ehsan Holdings. UEM Sunrise also entered into a development rights agreement with Melati Ehsan's Pembinaan Kerry to develop and market completed property units at a development rights value of 93.5 million, the company said in a BOS filing. The proceeds from the sale will bolster UEM Sunrise's financial position, helping to reduce debt and aid in land acquisition efforts. The DRA will serve as a valuable tool for UEM Sunrise to maintain control over Kiara Bay's development concept while minimizing potential conflicts associated with common facilities and shared spaces. Based on the audited financial statements for FY 2023, UEM Sunrise's earnings and EPS could potentially see an increase of 48%. Melati Ehsan's founder Tan Sri Yap Suan Chee, who is also a director and substantial shareholder of Mega Legacy, will abstain from deliberating and voting on any resolution pertaining to the transactions due to his interest as a related party. Magni-Tech Industries' first quarter net profit jumped 36% year-on-year to 32.7 million on the back of a decline in operating expenses, higher investment income and foreign exchange gains. The stronger earnings came in despite revenue for the quarter slipping almost 5% to 324.4 million from 340.9 million a year earlier, mainly due to lower sale orders received. The garment supplier declared a single-tier interim dividend of 2.8 cents per share. On prospects, Magni-Tech, which also supplies a wide range of flexible plastic and corrugated packaging products, said the group remains optimistically cautious over its business outlook for the rest of FY 2024. It says it will continue to be vigilant in cost management and to drive operational efficiency to remain competitive, as well as to drive sales and production output.